Men do not love like women. Have you ever seen a man love a woman to the point of his own destruction? It's very rare. But how many times do you see a woman love a man to the point of her destruction? Y'all need to stop. Save that love for your kids. He's never going to understand you. That's why I always say, find a man who loves you more than you love him. And then you'll be almost equal, okay? Almost. Women love men like they do children. That is pure love. Men cannot do that for you. They cannot. So they can't understand. They can't feel what you feel. It is impossible for a man to understand how much you love them. It is impossible. Women are created different. They have a certain thing inside of them that loves unconditionally, hard, and to the point of destruction. Save that love for yourself. Exactly. Women can't speak on all men, but we can generalize. Most men don't love women, and we know that. We see that. It's every day. We know that. There might be one or two, but that's because he loves her more than she loves him. Like I tell women to do, find you a man that loves you more.
Hey, yep. I see why they be hating on Shera. I see why they be hating on Shera. I see why the fellas got they boxes in a bunch for Shera. Shera, usually the clips that I see of Shera, they're like more funny, right? That's the stuff that goes viral, or is her funny stuff, calling dudes dusties and shit like that. And I can appreciate that type of content just because I think it's funny. But I came across this. My wife actually sent this one to me. And me and her both, we was like, yeah, you know, y'all can say whatever y'all want to about Shera, but Shera she be spot on with a lot of stuff, right? And she said a lot of things in here that I say about men, or I believe about men in general. But you know, there's parts in here that I disagree with. But yeah, so I want to kind of go through it real quick with y'all.
Men do not love like women. Have you ever seen a man love a woman to the point of his own destruction? It's very rare. But how many times do you see a woman love a man to the point of her destruction?
All the time. Every day. In the vast majority of relationships, women love men to the point of their own destruction. They are literally dying inside from various autoimmune diseases and things of that nature, because of their love and their willingness to sacrifice for their men and their families. Women also love men so much that they have babies for men, right? I'm not saying every single time a woman has a child is for a man, but I'm saying a lot of times women have children for men. Like, men will apply that pressure onto a woman that she might not even want a baby necessarily. She might not be ready to have a baby, right? Things of that nature. So yeah, women definitely love men, to their own destruction. The love also translates to like blind trust a lot of times. And like in the case of that woman in France who was raped by like 90 men or like 72 men or something like that. I think it was like 92 men or something, 90 men or so. It was a lot of men. And her husband was the one that facilitated all of it. She apparently she has like a few STDs, and one of them being HIV. So yeah, he basically, he just set her up for a disaster, but she didn't know. She didn't even get checked for those things because she's like, I'm 70 years old. I'm 60 something years old. Like, what am I? I'm only sleeping with my husband. Right. So she trusted him blindly. Right. And it's costing her a lot at this point, and that's not her fault. I'm just pointing that out.
Y'all need to stop. Save that love for your kids. He's never going to understand you. That's why I always say, find a man who loves you more than you love him. And then you'll be almost equal. Okay? Almost.
Now, studies show this, but let's just talk logically for a second. I don't always want to get into numbers and stuff like that. But if a man if a man isn't infatuated with a woman, right? Because I won't even say find a man that loves you more necessarily. But because that's hard to do. I because to the thing that Shera is talking about, it's hard for men to actually love women. Like, we don't know how to love. We don't know how to love properly. We don't know how to express it in a healthy way. I would say that it would probably look more like infatuation, right? And I think that if a man is infatuated with a woman, then there's a higher likelihood that he won't abuse her and he won't like cheat and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know, trust me, I know infatuation is fleeting and all of that stuff. I'm just saying, like, I just think that's more what it would look like. It could be love in their mind, but I'm saying how it, how it, how the feeling of love or the expression of love gets like translated. I think it looks like infatuation on the man's behalf a lot of times, right? But men in those situations, they're going to do way more labor than they would in a situation when he feels like, oh, I got her. Like she in love with me. Oh, I got 3 kids with her. I got 5 kids with her. She don't, man, whatever. She need me. Where else she gonna find another man like me? Right? Or find a man. She already got 3 kids. She got 2 kids. She 50 years, whatever it is. And a lot of men just, they stop trying. Like when maybe we were trying in the beginning, we're not trying now. Right? So I agree with that as well. I definitely think that men struggle with putting in the same amount of effort as women do. And sadly, it seems like if that man isn't infatuated with that woman, most men aren't going to do it. We're not going to do it.
Women love men like they do children. That is pure love. Men cannot do that for you. They cannot. So they can't understand. They can't feel what you feel. It is impossible for a man to understand how much you love them. It is impossible.
I disagree with the impossible. I disagree with men can't. She also contradicts herself a little bit in there because she says, find you a man that does love you more than you love him, which would show that men actually can love. But whatever, though. I get her point overall. And I think for me with Shera, that's like I think that the sentiment is right. And I don't even think believing that is harmful. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the thing why I would never go out of my way to like go at her or disagree with her content or whatever, because nothing she's saying right here hurts women at all. Not even a little bit. A lot of women believe it. Everything she's saying, I'm saying without her saying it, they don't believe Shera because because it's coming from Shera. They already believe this already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not blaming her for like, a lot of men like to like act like influencers are like really out here. Like people were like, they were pointing in this direction and then Shera said something. They were like, oh, I'm going to believe that. Like, that's not how it's working. Women already believe this stuff. They already know, or they feel it, even if they don't believe it, even if they haven't vocalized it, even if they can't articulate it. Then somebody comes along and articulates it. Doesn't mean they didn't already think this or feel this. You know what I'm saying? I just think that saying that it's impossible for men to feel this way removes the responsibility of men trying to be better. And also it doesn't get to the root cause of all of this stuff, which is misogyny, which is, the patriarchy, which is sexism, which is racism, which is capitalism. Let's start talking about the systems, right? And I know that that's not her thing. She's not, that's not her thing. So I don't expect her to get into all of that stuff, but that's the only part that I will push back on. But at the same time, it's not harming women. So I don't give a fuck. It ain't harming men either. If women, this is what those men want you to believe. If women say this type of stuff, if they say it's all men or whatever the case may be, then somehow, some way that's going to harm men when it's not. All it's going to do is just remove those women from your access. Like you're not going to have access to those women. That doesn't harm you because you don't have, if you never have access to any woman again, that doesn't harm you. It doesn't harm you. You should learn how to be a whole human being devoid of women. So it doesn't harm you. She's not telling women to go out there and hurt men. Not even a little bit. She's acknowledging that women love men more than men love women. She's acknowledging that. For those of y'all that like to come for her and talk about her relationship with James or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why she talks about the things she's talking about. And she said something in there. She said to the women, put that love into yourself before you put that into a man that don't love you the way that you love him. That's not fair. Bros, that's not fair, my guys. Men don't say shit like that to men. Men choose themselves every day. Even when they got women that love them, we choose ourselves every day. But you get mad at a woman for telling other women to not waste their energy, not risk their lives, not risk their health by putting themselves in close contact with the man that don't even fucking love them. Sounds rational to me.
Possible. Women are created different. They have a certain thing inside of them that loves unconditionally, hard, and to the point of destruction. Say that love for yourself. Exactly. Women can't speak on all men, but we can generalize. Most men don't love women, and we know that. We see that. It's every day. We know that. There might be one or two, but that's because he loves her more than she loves him. Like
1,000%. That part right there is like, it's simple. That's why I like Shera's message, because it's straight to the point, and it's simple, and it's clear cut. I like it. I like her. I'm not even, hey man, I like her message. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. People have been saying her and I got the same message. We don't, but some of it, I mean, it overlaps. But this right here was one of my favorite videos from her. Like, I didn't laugh at it. It wasn't tongue in cheek like a lot of her content is. It was very much like, it was very concise. It was very much to the point. And I can't argue with much of it, if any of it.
But we can generalize. Most men don't love women, and we know that. We see that. It's every day. We know that. There might be one or two, but that's because he loves her more than she loves him.
Most men don't love women. Look, all you have to do is look at society and look at the state of society. If most men love women, society will look different for women. Period, point blank, cut and dry. I don't care about no fucking studies. I don't care about divorce rates. I don't care about none of that. If men loved women, if the majority of men actually loved women, our society would look completely different. And that's what she's saying. And she ain't lying, and she ain't wrong. And I know y'all gonna be mad, punching the air, sliding down the pink wall, but it don't change the fucking reality that men don't love women. But we can learn to love women. We really can, and we need to.